Today is February 8th, 2023. Yesterday I was so upset I couldn't do a video. I couldn't do one that I could upload. I went to work early. I was talking to my manager. And her niece was kidnapped in Maslin and Daylight. I said, before that big case where that one kid got kidnapped, and about 30 years ago, I think her name was Amy Mahalik, people didn't get kidnapped around here. She's like, I know that. I said, before 18, people didn't get kidnapped here. She's like, I know that. They didn't. You may have got mugged, they stole your purse, people may have got robbed, and then where little drug dealers would get into it if they shot each other, that was it. And I think some guy killed his wife years ago. That was a big thing. But there's not kidnappings in this area. They used to laugh around me. Stuff like that don't happen here in the suburbs. But what happened in 18 is that agent owed those drug dealers money from Florida and brought them up here. And I was talking to her niece that got kidnapped in Daylight in Maslin. They told her there was drug traders in this area and they were grabbing people. They're human trafficking. I told her about the Gentleman's Club from Florida and the Florida plates, because everybody's seen them. I told her that I hope you don't mind, I told the police it may be related and ask them to look into it. And she's like, no, they haven't got her back. They haven't got any of these babies back. They even went, my district manager, some guy was following her clear into a nail salon, or tanning salon, sorry. And then she's like, well, that guy in the white van, that tall white guy with black hair. I went, black hair, tall white guy. She said, he's trying to connect children in Maslin. And she said he's been seen several times. That's my kidnapper. That's my kidnapper. He's been seen several times in Maslin now trying to grab children. He's been in Maslin the whole time. Where I always said the light is gray, the light is lit, because the reflection of the light, because I looked up and I'm like, when he opened the van door, I got her, hood goes up, yeah, and she said there's two guys working together. And I'm like, go back in the building, and I we already had them in my hand, slammed it down, ran around, jumped it, he hit the back of my car, she got away and lunged around the building. He's in Maslin. He's trying to grab children now. They human traffic people. The ones with the earbuds, she told me she was there and some guys were following some kids and their mom, okay, Maslin Walmart. She said, I was walking around and I could hear talking, or somebody told her this happened. I'm not for sure exactly how it came about that she knew. Said there was talking, they couldn't find out where it came from, and they looked up, they were talking to nobody. I said, well, they had an earbud. And she said that they came up to those kids and were telling those kids that their mom wanted them outside, and somebody stopped those kids from going outside. Maslin Walmart was the safest Walmart. It's not anymore. The earbud people are the ones that were part of the case. Camp Police seen them inside Walmart, West Husk. They were even threatening me. They were following me around. They all had earbuds. They either had earbuds, they had like this, they were like this. They had they were bugged out the wazoo, and they work as a team. And now they're in the Massillon Walmart trying to grab people. That agent owing those Florida drug dealers money from the Gentleman's Club in Florida have cost people in this area a lot. Where people make fun of me for being their victim that they broke in and drugged up, because he owed them money, and where they human trafficked me under drugs. I'd wake up and men would be attacking me, and I go to fight them off and I go black. They make fun of me because they showed them videos of it for being their victim. And then where they raped and tortured me when I tried to get some lady help, and they saw videos of it, and they even showed it to children. They showed all this to children. They're child molesters. Why do they think they're trying to grab children? So they can human traffic them. They're not really this stupid. Oh, and where that one guy, when I had told him what happened to me, he's like, I know somebody who knows somebody who deals drugs. Remember that conversation? He said, I went to somebody that deals drugs and asked them if they knew what happened to you. This is clear across the state. So they do. You didn't realize that agent owed those drug dealers money. And they were willing to hurt you in front of people because he owed them money. Not that I did anything wrong. I was just his pawn that he was using to scam. And he let them hurt you in front of people until he got up enough money to pay him off, and then you said $300,000. Well, they said $100 to $300,000 is a drug shipment. I didn't tell them they sold the login and made millions. You know what's awful? Men have showed up that I've never seen before, and they've been following me. Well, he said that those people are so mad, and then they made some horrible comments about that agent. I'm like, whoa, I don't believe in hurting people, nor would I ever condone it. I want him to go to jail for what he did to me, but that's it. It's true. I don't believe in hurting people. I do believe in jails. And he said they're so mad, and then he made that threat again. Well, I told the police and stuff. Okay. So I don't believe in hurting people. They let me get hurt this bad, but I wouldn't them. You know, I was so scared of him. I didn't talk to him for a few days, and I was afraid to, and none of these men showed up. And they're new ones. And I thought, my God, what if they're part of that? And if I don't talk to them, what'll happen? So I got enough nerve, and then I got to think, well, he's only relaying a message. It wasn't actually him. Last night I was talking to him, and then, some off-the-wall comments, and he said, there's over 100 men that would love to knock you down and rape you at one time and run off. I went, oh, really? He's like, yeah. He said, then don't act like you didn't know that over 100 men would love to rape you at one time. He drilled me while we were out to eat, and I told him I was raped and tortured, and I was stubborn. I cried on the way home, I cried the next day, and I cried the next day. I was raped and tortured by 3 men in protective custody, and they showed videos of it to children. Now, he's like, here, you got so much hurt in your eyes. And then him to say those 100 men would like to rape me at one time. I wonder how these new men are. I told you I was up at that casino in Cleveland on the 6th. Tall African-American man in dark gray shirt, walking around. I'm walking around. I don't even think he's seen me. That's the one that church tried to have killed. It's not funny why these people helped out. Okay? Karen's Wills run around telling everybody he taped her before. That's why no one will help her. I never talked to her. I never talked to him till the phone call where he badgered me, and he goes to jail for that. It's tampering with witnesses, 20 years. It's badgering. Okay? Where he bullied me into saying I was lying when I wasn't, under a threat of arrest. And top it off, he knew they were drugging me because it was him and his drug bitches. And they're asking if they had a man to take care of it. And then they start shooting out Florida within 2 days. And they said it's drug related back to Ohio. None of this is funny. And where people are making fun of the victims, people are being taken and dying. None of this is funny. That man stole. I'm supposed to be in the witness protection program. He actually opened the case where after I called the hotline, then he bullied me. Made me beg for my life. And I'm supposed to be in there for life, $5,000 a month, and he's stealing it. And then my living expenses, my house, he's putting it all in his drug addiction. They need to arrest him. Embezzlement charges are 5 to 30 years. I could upload this and get to work. None of this is funny. I can't believe these people even laughed at me. Yesterday, out of my clients, it got quiet there for a while. Some girls were outside and said some guy was going to take care of this. They found out that the only thing going on is they're stealing. And they've been out here screaming for all this time, and the only thing going on is they're stealing? It is. And they've been talking about it clear to Pennsylvania, and the only thing going on is they're stealing from the case. They made all this shit up. That's weird. November 18, 22, Walmart 62, by the hair salon, in the entrance of the door, and one camera there and then one in the hair salon. All the tapes are for me and not her. It was my idea to come up with it, my idea to say it, my idea to do it. For all these people to turn on her, ha 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 ha. And the other guy's like, well, if it was just you, I could even fix it. I know, it's that bad, and they still fell for it, ha! November 24, 22, Mercy Medical and Emergency Room. Nurse to an officer. Any officer. We all heard that Eric make fun of us for falling for this. No one will say a word to her again. And then the lady officer, well, the agent that bullied her into saying she was lying when she wasn't. I found out those men even ran experiments on her, and they need to realize how not funny this is. No one's ever said anything really bad about her, and she better not have, nobody's ever said anything really bad about her before. It's actually that bad, and she better not have permanent damage. My whole family spoke highly of me. The ones that got caught stating they were making everything up for Auntie Sean Papa to get the house, and they were games of pretend, or were making everything up. And they're documenting the games of pretend. And then these people have got caught stating where they kicked in my door. They were photoshopping shower scenes and date rape, drugging me. I've never been questioned or wrongdoing. I've never been prosecuted. I've never been found guilty. This whole thing's a scam for them to steal and these people to help out. I gotta upload this.